Welcome back to my channel. Welcome to a little chatty video featuring Nat and Bella. Apparently we're going to be featuring Bella quite heavily in this one as well. So you may have noticed that there haven't been any videos for me kind of in the last week apart from car boot haul videos. There's been a lot going on. There are a lot of things happening and I lost my mojo a little bit. Every now and again I lose my mojo for making videos and I just kind of like, I've said this before, all the plates are spinning and sometimes one of the plates has to go, and it's usually the YouTube plate that I let go of because I can't let go of eBay because it's my main income and I don't have a choice about whether I'm going to work or not. So it's usually the YouTube plate that crashes to the ground, only every now and again. So you might be wondering, why isn't that here? We've got some quite large changes going on. One of the things that is changing is that Tammy has to move back in. I'm not throwing that out, that's not what... Surprise, got you on camera! Imagine if... Surprise! No, Natalie already knows this. Tammy has to move back in. Tammy's work contract that came with a place to live has now ended. And so she needs somewhere to live, and private rentals in the Bristol area at the moment are insane. Absolutely insane prices. So while Tammy regroups, refinances and reassesses what she wants to do, she's going to be moving back in here. For that to happen, she has to have this room. I'm currently recording this in what I've always called my office. It's the back bedroom, but we've just called it the office to differentiate it. And in this room, I tend to do YouTube and eBay, and the sofa bed is in here for when Lex comes and stuff like that. And it has to change. It has to change. So we went the other day. Tammy also needs to put some stuff in storage because obviously she's moving out of a large 2-bedroom flat into 1 bedroom. So we went the other day and we looked at a storage facility. I did go and look. If you've been here a while, you remember a few years ago I had a storage office space for my eBay, and you may remember me doing some videos from there. I did go back and look at that place, but the money has gone up and the only room we had available was a lot smaller than the one I had before. I couldn't see that working somehow. So we've gone to look at a big multiple storage facility, you know, one of the, it's not big yellow storage, it's something like that, you know. And Tammy and I are going to rent one of those units between us, and we're going to store her unneeded for now stuff in it, and most of my eBay is going there. I'm going to have a desk in my bedroom to use the computer to do the editing and listing and stuff from that form, and it's not going to be easy, but it's necessary. You have to do it, you know. Tammy, at the end of the day, Tammy is as close to family as family could be, you know what I mean? We've been friends for 20 years. She's lived here on 2 separate occasions before, so you know, she just, every now and again we just reel her back in. In you come. So Tammy has to come back. And you might be saying, why does Nat need to be here for that? Nat didn't need to be there for that bit. Nat needs to be here for the next bit because Tammy's not the only new resident. You may be aware, if you've been around the channel for a while and if you've been following the last few weeks, we recently lost Kai. So Kai was Nat's boy, and he was 14, and just to cover something I'd already said in another video, he had a spinal condition which he had diagnosed quite a long time ago.
4 or 5 years ago now.
4 or 5 years ago, which was
about 8.
Yeah,
8 or 9.
He was about 8 or 9 when he was diagnosed, and he made it to 14 with this spinal condition. He had physiotherapy for it. He had umpteen different kinds of...
Do you know that you've never been able to say the name of it?
It's ankylosing spondylitis.
Oh, that's the first time you've ever got it right. Ankylosing spondylitis.
You can't do it. He had ankylosing spondylitis. And he actually had physio for it a while back, didn't he? We went to physio with him. He had various different pain treatments. He got to the point where he was having a Librela injection once a month, and that worked for a while, but nothing works forever. Eventually he got worse and worse, and it got to the point where they'd said if his legs start crossing, his pelvis is gone, wasn't it?
Yeah, so basically his hips were gonna like crack in the middle.
Yeah, and it just became apparent for the last few weeks of his life that he was not having a good time as often as he ought to be. There's this balance with dogs where you go, is his quality of life good enough, and are the good days outweighing the bad? And we got to the point with Kai where the bad days were outweighing the good, and we started to realise it was going to be time. He fell down the stairs a couple of times. That wasn't great. He'd gone quite deaf, but he'd also taken to lying just inside the front door, which meant if you came home he didn't hear you coming and then you'd hit him with the door. That was quite traumatic.
That was traumatic for everyone.
Yeah, nobody enjoyed that. And the final weekend, he had a very, very bad weekend, and on the Monday he had to be taken to the vet and we had to say goodbye, and it's not fun. No, it's not fun. It is far from fun. And why am I telling you that in this video? What I do want to put in here at this point is that for a long time before Kai went... You okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Are you?
Yeah,
You're
I'm
going
fine.
to?
No, if you go as well, but no,
You're
we're
going
fine.
to?
We're fine. For a long time before Kai went, we wanted to add another puppy into the household, and we didn't because of Kai's
Yeah.
physical state. Not, but also his mental state. He would have been so unhappy.
He couldn't have dealt with a puppy climbing on him.
It would have been far too much for him. He coped with Bella just about, but Bella was already quite well grown.
To not walk over a puppy and hurt it or anything. He would have loved a puppy eventually.
He was a very loving boy.
He wasn't in a health.
He wasn't in a good place. But he coped with Bella because Bella was already 14 months old by the time we got her, so she'd grown out of most of her puppy clumsiness and she knew when to leave well alone. And also because of her spending most of her time with Anthony, she wasn't in Kai's face all the time, but we knew we couldn't get a puppy with Kai in the way he was. And so
Nat got a puppy.
Nat got a puppy. Nat has begun to plaster over the hole in her heart that's left by Kai. Only begun to.
We're about 1%.
Dealing with the guilt as well.
Darcy.
But we thought you might like to meet the newest member of the family, who has been desperately trying to get in shot for the last 10 minutes. This is Darcy. You're sleepy now. You're going to sleepy now.
What's that?
Who's here? Look. Can you see here? There we are. Who's that? That's Darcy. There you go. Hello, sweetie. So
Darcy is a Patterdale Terrier, which is what Buddy was, but Buddy had a bit of Jack Russell or Staff.
Yeah, Jack Russell and Staff,
mixed
and I don't
in.
know what else in there. Yeah.
So he was a little concoction, whereas both...
Sleepy.
She's not Kennel Club registered, but both of her parents are Patterdale Terriers. So there might be a little mix further up the line. But she was 10 weeks old yesterday. She's been home with us around 5 days.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it has been so difficult to know when to tell you guys. Not because we don't think you'll be happy, but because there is so much judgment when you lose a dog. There is so much judgment when you get another dog about when you should do it. And what I want to really, really stress here is that there is no right time, and also there is no right way to grieve. So some people are ready for a new dog almost straight away, and some people are not. When Tizer died, which was our first dog, who you guys never met because it was a long time before I started doing videos, it was 5 years before I was ready for another dog. I couldn't face it. It had broken me so much.
No, none of us were ready.
No.
We got Kai about 18 months afterwards, but Kai was an emergency rescue. Kai was going to be put to sleep if he didn't find a home.
But also, I really remember stressing to you at the point, it's not my dog. Kai's not my dog. Kai's your dog. Because I can't have another dog yet because my heart is not ready. My heart is not ready for another dog. He's yours. And then Buddy needed a home and he was Anthony's and I could just about cope with that, but I wasn't ready to have one that was mine. That doesn't mean that 5 years is the approved time. I know it took Nick a long time before he was ready. Andrea was ready before Nick was to get a new dog. Yeah. And the fact that Natalie had wanted a pup for so long, but we didn't because of Kai.
Wanted a puppy since Molly was a baby.
Yeah, yeah.
Because Kai was 5 when we got him, I've never had my own puppy. Obviously, I've experienced Molly, but Kai was already a man. Kai came with a credit score and a mortgage.
Kai came with a criminal record. But yeah, Kai was a fully grown dog. You never had the puppy stage,
yeah, no,
did you?
He was 5.5.
And now you're having the puppy stage. How does it feel? Tiring, isn't it?
Personally, I've been denied maternity leave, which I think is all kinds of wrong.
Yeah, the boss said you couldn't have maternity leave, didn't he?
Apparently that only counts for human babies. But she's pretty good so far.
She is.
She's not fazed by the other dogs. She's not fazed by any people.
Yeah, she's not scared of much. She's had a nasty case of worms. But that was an eye-opening experience because we've never experienced that. Molly, for some reason, didn't have worms. Apparently, nearly all puppies have worms. They can even be born with it as they're inherited from the mother or whatever. I didn't know this, and the first realisation was a bit of a. I was like, what the heck is going on?
But Molly was older when we got her. Molly was 12 weeks, whereas Darcy was 9.
Presumably Molly's puppy worms, if she had them, had already been dealt with by then. Whereas yours had not, had they? But you're okay now, aren't you? Yeah. She's normally a lot more lively than this. She's been quite lively for the last 10 minutes until we got to this bit and then she'll go to sleep now. So she's Patterdale Terrier, and she will, hopefully, we think, when fully grown, come in somewhere between Bella and Molly in height.
Yeah, she should be about Buddy sized.
Yeah.
Roughly, because obviously his main breed was Patterdale.
Yeah. So Bella is Jack Russell Chihuahua. I didn't realise how much Bella had grown since we had her until I looked at her.
Look at the photos when we first got her, and she's actually grown quite a bit.
She has grown quite a lot, yeah.
But she's almost 2
she's
now.
She's just here,
so
you can't see her, but she's...
Bella, you come see?
There we go.
Come see.
So we've got one dog
baby.
each again now then. So because Bella is Anthony's dog, even though Anthony's gone outside, Bella's here with us. Molly is mine. Molly's not impressed.
Molly's so cross.
Molly's annoyed by the presence of the baby, isn't she? She's
so angry.
You're pulling my shirt off. Yeah, Molly's she's not been aggressive to the puppy, in that she growls. She'll tell her off every time she comes near her, but she's definitely softening.
Oh, she's
and she let her fall asleep on her last night. No, but she's annoyed. So we have to make sure we give Molly extra love and tell her she's still the top princess, still the best girl in the world. Bella is quite accepting of her.
Oh, Bella quite likes her. Bella's been really looking after her baby.
Can I see if I can put you down? There we go. There we go. See,
Bella.
Bella will let her lie there next to her quite happily. You can't see that, can you? Hang on.
Is that your baby? Did we get you a baby for Christmas?
Bella will put up with that quite happily. She's like, yeah, we'll lie here together. Molly would not.
Bella has wanted to lie with Molly the entire time we've got her, and Molly will not allow it.
Yeah, Bella's always trying to cuddle up with Molly, and Molly's like, no, absolutely not.
Oh, look at them.
So yeah, this is the news. This is how things are. Tammy will be moving back in. There will be, I should imagine, quite a lot of upheaval videos, because we'll be moving stuff out of here. I've got to move stuff around in my bedroom.
Go on then, Bella.
I've got to move stuff around in my bedroom to accommodate a desk and a Kallax unit in there. We'll be moving Tammy's stuff into here. So there hopefully will be content, but it may be a bit sporadic, and that's something else I want to say as well. There weren't any videos, like I said, the last couple. I've just been so busy, and so my brain has been in a whirl so much of the time that I just haven't been able to make any videos. But this one will go out later today, I think. So yeah, we wanted to introduce it to Darcy. We wanted to tell you the news and explain what's going to be going on for a while, and it's all change, all new, all different. And for those of you wondering about my weight loss, there isn't any. In fact, if anything, I think I'm rounder. But I'm putting out somebody once said to me, you just put out the fire that's in front of you at the time. You don't worry about the fires that are running away in the distance. You just put out the fire that is in front of you at the time. So the current fire is Tammy needs somewhere to live, and we need to move everything around. That is the fire that is in front of me right now. This fire can wait a bit longer. That's it. That's it. That's all I've got to say. Thank you for joining us for this one. Thank you for joining me with special guest star who's suddenly awake.
Did you do a YouTube debut?
That was your YouTube debut.
You're so clever.
And we'll be back with more pup dates. Take care. Bye for now.